This is my second push day of the week. I started this push day with seated dumbbell shoulder press. I did 4 sets of up to 12 reps. As you can see, due to that my height and my lever length, that I have to conduct this exercise in a slightly different manner. Due to the length of my levers, a lighter weight can feel much greater as the weight is actually further away from my center of mass, so I don't have to utilize as heavier weights to get the same level of stimulus. I'm not fully lengthening my arms, I'm keeping a little bend in the elbows to ensure that the tension remains in the shoulders, and as the dumbbells come down towards my ear height, I'm allowing my elbows to actually come slightly in front of my body. I'm not flaring my elbows as this can create shoulder problems and issues. The second shoulder exercise I did was a cable side lateral raise. I did 4 sets of up to 15 reps. Nice, slow and controlled. Once again, using my lever length to my advantage. I'm making sure that the cuffs I've attached to the cables are roughly about my elbow height. So I'm making sure that the tension is much nearer the muscle I'm trying to work. I'm not really lifting my arms up. I'm trying to hinge my elbows out, making sure that my side lateral head of my deltoid is being fired maximally, lengthened and shortened throughout the exercise. The third exercise I did was a side lateral dumbbell raise. As you can see, I'm leaning slightly forward and I'm not focusing on lifting the dumbbells up. I'm once again hinging my elbows up and out. I'm allowing the dumbbells to come slightly more forward, not directly out to my sides, as that doesn't create my shoulders to be impinged by my structure. I did 4 sets of 15 reps, just like the previous exercise, making sure that I'm not trying to sway and swing the weight up, keeping as strict a form as possible. The fourth exercise I did was a lying flat dumbbell chest press. So as you can see, once again, with a movement of this manner, I can use my levers to my advantage. Although that I'm not using a particularly heavier weight, I can make it feel heavier by ensuring that my forearms stay directly up to the sky and using the length of my arm to add more tension and put greater strain on the muscle without going up into a heavier weight. I'm not taking the dumbbells too far down, as I feel like as I go a little bit too deeper than what I'm going, my shoulders will rotate forward and try and take priority of the exercise. So I'm stopping just shy of the full depth I can create and receive, so then the chest is doing all of the work. A machine incline press was my 5th exercise. I did 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps. Making sure that I angle the machine in a very high elevated position. It's almost kind of borderline a soft incline for shoulders. So you're just kind of filling that gap area between the clavicle and the chest itself. You want to make sure that you're keeping as stable and as slow a movement as possible, utilizing the machine and the machine's ability to stabilize you to your advantage, and making sure you really feel that burn and feel that squeeze all the way through, especially at the top of the movement. Try not to engage the triceps too much. You want to get the top end of the squeeze primarily from the center point of your top of your chest. The 6th exercise I did, and to finish chest, was machine flies. As you can see, I used the handles on this exercise. This is because I feel like I can get a better top end squeeze of this exercise and really contract the very top point of my pecs. If I use the standard handles on this machine, I feel like I kind of lose that contraction and I kind of mismatch the feel to what I'm trying to accomplish. So by using those handles as an additional, I feel like I can make this exercise much more optimal for my height and my body size. I did 4 sets and I did up to 15 reps in each, making sure that I'm slow and controlled all the way through and out the exercise, making that as I'm releasing the weight, I'm decontracting my chest. I'm not just moving with the machine, I'm making sure that my muscle is decontracting and slowly lengthening out as I go to engage the next set and on the next rep. The very next exercise I did was a behind the head tricep extension. I did 4 sets of up to 15 reps. As you can see, I'm using the space bar with a rope attachment on each side. I'm trying to keep my arms as directly straight as I possibly can to keep the alignment of the tricep as good as I can to make sure that that contraction is as hard and as maximal as possible. Slowing the descent down, making sure that I'm not using a swaying movement from my body to help the weight initially initialize and drive it forward, utilizing my tricep to get as much power and as torque driven through the muscle and the top end squeeze as best I can. If doing this exercise, please mind that as the spacebar comes towards your head, you may hit the back of your head. So this is why I'm bowing my head just before it reaches there. Then I moved on to the close grip tricep press down. I used a fixed bar for this exercise. I did 3 sets of up to 15 reps. As you can see, my elbows are angled ever so slightly in front of my body. This is allowing a much greater and better stretch as I come up on the exercise. As you can see, I'm starting to break down a little form here because this was my 3rd set. So I'm just trying to grind the exercise out and finish off as hard as I can. To finish the session off, I finished with tricep cable kickbacks. This is to fatigue the tricep in its maximally shortened position, using a very light weight on this, and you want to kind of align the cables so it's almost in a direct movement path of how the tricep would contract in your arms kind of tucked close to your sides. You want to make sure that your elbows are staying pinned back and you're not overly engaging your upper back too much. You just want to make sure that the tricep is squeezing and contracting and shortening all the way through the range. I did 3 sets of 15 reps in this exercise. Finish this session off with some just general posing work. I'm not a good poser by any sense of the imagination or planning on going on stage. I'm just doing this more for my own visual benefit of just seeing how the work and progress is going and where I can make further changes.